who is ready for another Fury 325 update. I'm going to go over 3 very important things in this update. The first one is, when Fury reopens, will it have a trim brake going down the first drop? And then I'm going to go over what they're doing today on the project, because by far this has been the biggest surprise and the biggest question mark so far since Fury's been closed since last Friday, followed by some new speculation on my part as to what they're doing. But some exciting news first. The content creator who created this awesome video here on YouTube a few days ago, his name is Corey, and join us because tomorrow night on Wednesday, July 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be going live talking about this. He's an engineer. He has some great insight as to what they're doing and what could be doing in the future to Fury 325. But first, let's talk about this trim brake, because a lot of people have said in the comments, well, they might have to add a trim brake so the train doesn't go as fast over that turn like it has in the past. And honestly, if you've ridden Fury, I don't think there's any way possible, honestly, for them to put another trim brake on it. That's before the treble clef, which is way over there. And the reason why I'm standing so far away is because they're really blocking this whole entire area off even more. You can't even enter the Carowinds side on the North Carolina side. You have to go to the South Carolina side, at least for the main gate. I don't think the train has enough momentum to make it over the treble clef from the first drop, because on really windy days, it just crawls over the treble clef, and sometimes they even have to close the ride down due to not wanting the train to valley. So there's no way for the trim to be before the treble clef, which is great news, because there's really no way they can neuter Fury 325, and it'll continue to be in one of the top 3 or 4 best steel coasters in the world going forward. Now, let's talk about this. This morning, my family and I were coming up to the water park, and we're pulling in the parking lot, and all of a sudden I look and see a crane. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get some video, because I saw sparks flying. They're welding these weird looking steel plates into the actual support structure. But unfortunately, as soon as we pulled up to our parking spot and I ran out to grab it, they literally just stopped the welding, and the sparks stopped going. And so we're just left with this. But with that being said, it's very, very interesting, because you now have a support structure that has all these 4 or 5 different steel plates in it. So what does this mean? Obviously, the ride's not going to open up with this. This is just a short-term fix. But the good news is I think these steel plates are in the support for them to be able to, weld up the actual support that cracked better potentially. And I'm not an engineer, but this is just me speculating. But then once they basically seal and weld the support back to normal, these steel plates would be basically just chopped off. The outsides would be chopped off from the support, and then they would sand it down and paint it white to make it look like it's brand new. I personally think this is a temporary fix. I do not think this is a final fix, but I know if they're working on July 4th, which they were, they're not working at the moment. Maybe they're at lunch break, maybe they're done for the day, but they're here for a good 3 or 4 hours this morning, and that tells me that Carowinds is all in on getting Fury 325 open as soon as possible. So for those of you in the comments who say I'm crazy or I'm stupid, and there's a lot worse names out there about me about this situation, about it not opening, I predicted 2 weeks, and I'm still saying it's going to be open very soon. It's going to be opening sometime in July. I still think 2 weeks, so about a week and a half from now, hopefully. Again, this is just me speculating. That's not confirmed. But from what I'm gathering and from what I see, I definitely think that's the situation. We're looking at a week and a half out. It should be opening. All signs are pointing to Carowinds really doing a very good job here, making it very safe and doing it the right way. But these guys are working pretty much, I can't say around the clock, but they're working long days, getting the Fury 325 safety checked and ready to go so we can all ride it again very soon. Now, back to my timeline real fast. I would go on to say that this is just going to be a temp fix to get the ride open as soon as possible. And then come the off season, or maybe even sooner, but like January and February, they close the ride down for a few weeks. Possibly get a new piece of track or two, then obviously get the new support or new supports if they need to add additional supports or not. So they definitely have the room to add additional supports. That's the good news. So we shall see, but very interesting things out of Carowinds today on July 4th. Another interesting thing to note, and that is Afterburn was closed down for a couple hours yesterday morning for safety inspectors to walk the track, or at least to walk underneath the supports to make sure everything looks good there. And another very cool thing too about the drone is I didn't see any drone out here yesterday, but on Sunday there was a drone. Sorry, my arm's killing me here. Anyway, so there's a drone, and I think that's the future of maintenance on roller coasters, big rides, as far as, you know, getting eyes where the human eye can't see. I think that could really be beneficial down the road. So maybe they could fly the drone around the roller coaster once a week, you know, and scope out any type of cracks, because we saw Cedar Point yesterday on Gatekeeper. I guess the guests thought they saw a crack. They posted on Facebook, and sure enough, Gatekeeper was closed like that. And they went out there. You saw maintenance go up there and look on a little cherry picker and to see if it was a crack, and it was just dirt. So that's the hard thing, especially with white supports, is there's a lot of dirt and grime that does appear to be potentially looks like cracks. But you know, in the end of the day, it's very interesting. But the good news is, again, they're out here on 4th of July working. That tells me that Carowinds is paying them a ton of money to be here, not only on the holiday weekend, but 4th of July. So they're here working. There's still ropes up on the first turn here, which I don't know why they're still there. Obviously, they're going back up there to look at something else. So as far as my timeline goes, as long as there's no other issues, I can see this thing opening up soon. One more thing to note, and that is what's going on back over here. Now, this is away from Fury, but this dirt road that's been cleared out, there's flags all around it, as you can see over here. I don't know what this is, but it's relatively new, and it runs right along the existing perimeter road. So I don't know what this could be for. What I would guess is they're looking to extend this perimeter road outwards. Carowinds does not own much past this tree line at all, but at least move this road 10 or 20 feet to your left, and then maybe they can extend this parking lot, the bus parking lot, further maybe. I don't know, but I'm over here and I just noticed that, so I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. With all that being said, what are you guys thinking about this right now? I know each day I do daily updates. I try to, at least. I'm not trying to be too repetitive here, but there's a lot of people who want to know what's going on with Fury. And since Carowinds is my home park and I love Fury to death, so I feel like it's an honor for me to cover this for you guys. So I greatly do appreciate all the support. I will still try to throw in some other videos, non-Fury related, here and there. But again, Carowinds, kudos to you guys for doing a great job here, getting this thing back up and running, hopefully as soon as possible, because I cannot wait to feel the sting of Fury again. But as far as the crack goes, it's right over there, and it will be fixed very, very soon. So with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.